What is good? It is raining and thundering again. Dang, does the weather not take days off? But when it comes down to it, though, I think it is perfectly fine and it's perfectly timed to talk about an anime when it's women that age like wine. And that is MHA. Granted, it really didn't end like 5,000 years ago like I make it out to be. It actually ended pretty recently with the manga. But still, nonetheless, I feel like it's time to do a clapback on it. And there is tons of shows to talk about when it comes to clapbacks and things of sort like that. But this one in particular, again, like I said when it came down to Naruto, MHA, before there was MHA, there was definitely Naruto that was carrying like a lot of shonen baddies. A lot of them that were like, in my personal opinion, the reason why Shonen Jinsai had like so much content, and it was due to Naruto characters as a whole. But if we talk about modernness of Shonen after that, MHA holds the bag, and I don't think it's a whole secret to kind of call, you know, the clapback, the clapability of these characters, the waifus of these, a damn 10 out of 10. Like, I'm just gonna be absolutely real. There is no possible way I can sit here and be like, you know, MHA could have some things, but, you know, it's not necessarily gonna be that great, you know? It's like maybe like an 8 or so. Like, hell no! Are you dead ass? Class 1A by itself is just full of fine ass baddies. Now, in terms of story, you can definitely argue a point where, you know, maybe not everybody is super relevant, and if it's not really Ochako and Toga, then, you know, everybody else's story pretty much does not care, and it does not really matter and all that type of stuff, and I get that. But at the very same time, that does not take away from everything else, I would say, that makes them 10 out of 10 type characters that really could just shake those ass cheeks in a way where it makes sense, you know? At least that's how it is for me. And one of the things I said about MHA that I feel like it was missing the entire time, and it's mainly due to the fact of the community and how toxic it is, it's definitely due to the fact that we could have seen pretty much how these characters interact with each other in a more lightheartedness of like an arc or a small little mini arc or some filler stuff or whatever. But because everything was so pretty much like story after story after story and just story moments and whatever, for the most part, we really didn't get to see these characters kind of have like a chill time together. And that's kind of like a big detriment. That's why I hate, honestly, how Ruby's writing is personally, because they don't let the characters, you know, chill for 5 seconds. They really don't let them act their whole age or whatever. They kind of have to go and jump in to do all these crazy things that is beyond their age range, if we're gonna be honest. But when it comes down to it, that's kind of how the story has always been, and you can thank the fandom for that, especially with how they keep bullying the shit out of Horikoshi and how to, you know, do these characters, especially with anything sexy with those characters, because you know damn well he would want to. I think we can all see that he wants to, but the fandom literally will not let it happen, and that is such a pain in the ass. Because we see different mannerisms of it, like different camera angles of certain shots, certain characters like Midnight, and how Mina sometimes can be really sexy at times too. So it's like, it's not like that, oh, they can't necessarily do it, they don't want to. It's literally the bitch ass fandom that just gotta be, you know, on some nonsense, and that's probably the reason why. And that's why you got the actual good ruler, the foresight of the fan base to actually be like, you know what, we understand the vision, so we're gonna go ahead and just do what Horikoshi couldn't, and that is to show some nice ass cheeks of Ochako real quick, or something like that. In terms of the characters themselves, I would definitely say the best part of MHA is definitely the different character designs and variety of differences between how each character look, right? Because just in class 1A alone, yes, you got people that looks very much natural and normal, like Ochako and maybe Momo together, like, oh, they look like regular human people. But then you have like the slight difference of someone like Sue, who's a bit on the froggy type of side and has the wide ass eyes with the wide ass mouth, looking, you know, mad crazy, but at the very same time would still get the best head from because of that long ass tongue. You already know what time it is. Then you get someone like Mina, who honestly her whole skin is just pink because of the whole acid quirk or whatever, and that makes her look a bit different and all that type of stuff. So that's really damn cool. And then you have someone like, you know, I forgot her name. I think it was like Toru, I want to say. I'm not sure. But the invisible girl, who basically you can't see for the most of the series at all, only for her to kind of just actually have a form, but you can't really see it because, again, due to the quirk. And that is one of the things I would definitely say I like about MHA, is that, yes, they have these powers, but they affect them in different sort of ways, because naturally, you can't see the invisible girl unless she just overextends herself in some shape and form with her power, and then you get to see what she looks like for the most of the time. And that's just kind of ultimately how it is for a lot of characters. Their quirk literally affects how they are, and sometimes their own personality, which that's kind of the reason why Toga is like a bloodthirsty murderer a lot of the damn time when it comes down to how she loves people and things sort of like that. So it's not 100% Toga's fault herself, it's just victim of circumstances, and that's just how it is. But to go back over Class 1A real quick though, I would definitely say that there is some primetime ass cheeks to be had here. Honestly, I would say out of anybody that I don't care for the most, and this might catch people off guard, but I will say I don't really care too much for Momo. I'll be honest. Like, she's cool. I like her smarts. I like her ability. I mean, she has nice booba. I don't see how anybody would hate that. But that being said, if I had to say, oh, who do I appeal towards the most? It is definitely not going to be Momo, for sure, right? Hell, at one point, it was going to be actually, like, you know, Jiro to be the one I really don't care for the most. But then, as the story kind of progressed and as time goes on, I kind of really like Jiro a lot more. I like her F-ton more. And to keep it very much a stack, yeah, I'll probably put her like in the top 3 of really anybody in Class 1A. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because if I had to choose, it would probably be just Ochako, Jiro, and then Mina. If I had to choose like all 3, that would be the 3, right? You mean you tell me you don't want her to use her big ass earlobe things, her earphone jack earlobe things on your penis and then just stroke it that way? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be interesting. Just don't put that tip on the tip of my shit, and then we won't be boxing each other. But you know, everything's gonna be perfectly fine, you know. But ultimately, I just appeal towards Jiro a lot more. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just appeal to characters when it comes out of nowhere, or I see a piece of art that looks mad good to that character, and it's just like, damn, I'm on a high for this character now. And that's kind of, I guess, what I'm feeling towards Jiro, of anything, because usually it'd be like, oh, it's either Toga or Chaco, and I take nothing else. But then it's like, well, everybody else is pretty bad too, and that's just only in Class 1A, you know. And granted, there's plenty of other characters that has a way thicker ass cheek than what Ochako can bring to the table, or Mina, or whatever. Because you look at like the other class that UA had with like that one crazy ass dude that keep screeching about how he wants to have a 1-up on Class 1A for whatever reason. You look at that females of that class, they got some pretty good ones too. I don't really care too much for Divine Chick though, I'll be honest. Divine Chick is usually whatever to me, but then you get someone like the whole moose looking chick, the cow looking chick or whatever. She looking mad good from America, if I remember correctly. Like, I'm pretty sure we could take them horns and start yanking them a certain way for certain types of actions. I think that would be pretty nice. But then we also get Kanoko, the mushroom chick. Best chick in the entirety of that class, for sure. Better than Kendo with her big ass hands. Just immediately yes. There is problems. There is definitely problems that could happen, like growing a mushroom on the top of your shit, and you know, kind of maybe growing mushrooms in your lungs and whatever, and possibly killing you. Dead ass. She has the most terrifying power of just fungus as a whole, but at the very same time, she looks mad cute, so I'll let it pass. Granted, hella dangerous, but at the same time, I would let it pass. Also, I ain't gonna lie, out of anybody in UA, I feel like she's like one of the most underrated characters that gets nothing, no type of attention whatsoever. So I would like to very much see, you know, Kanoko get some more content at some point in time, if that's even possible, if anybody even remembers or cares. Because she is kind of bad though, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. There's a whole world of characters that are pretty much equally clappable. You know, people like, you know, La Brava, who literally is about the clapping life. You get people, the adult heroes like Midnight, rest her soul. You get people like Mirako, who is also equally fine. A character I honestly didn't care for in the beginning, and then I was like, oh, You know what? I understand it now. I get why you like her so damn much, right? My first liking, a Mount Lady. Who wouldn't want that giant ass on you? I'm pretty sure tons of people would, you know? And then there's like other schools that have like their own classes of different people with quirks and whatever. That looks mad good too. Right? We don't get a lot of that, but we do get some of that. We get people like, you know, freaking Hatsume, who just is banger after banger when it comes down to just how fine she is with the big ass booba that she always carrying, don't know how to use them shits. Just a character, honestly, at one point in time, and still pretty much underrated as hell. I don't really see anybody kind of use her for anything, which is a bit sad. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Then don't even get me started on Big Booty Eerie. We already know how we feel about that shit on this channel, right? Especially next month, since next month is going to be Lolicon Pride Month. You already know what type of timing it's going to be. We need to see some Big Booty Eerie ass cheeks shaking all about. We know how it is over here. And then the MILFs of this world, like Inko and Mitsuki, like, again, there is so many victories to be had in the MHA universe. Like, I don't understand how anybody can sit here and be like, you know what, there ain't nobody from MHA that's worth a damn. Bullshit. Are you serious? I don't think you understand the complexity of Ochako's ass cheeks just jiggling in the wind. I don't really think you understand how horny Toga can really get when it comes down to just how wild she could be riding around some things. Definitely avoid her trying to get your blood, but still, it's some ass cheeks worth diving into, at least at the end of the day for me. That's just ultimately how it goes. Like, to keep it very much a stat, I dead ass feel like MHA has a contender to be having some of the most thickest women in the entirety of anime. Like, that might be a stretch to say, but each time I see, you know, someone make some Ochako or some Mirako or art of a certain character or whatever, it's always them looking mad thick as shit for whatever reason. Oh, and I forgot to mention Burnin's fine ass. We don't ever get to see anything about Burnin. She about bad as hell. When she got introduced to the story, I was hoping like, damn, we could see something with this character, only for us to not really get much of that character, which pisses me off. So there is very much that. Again, there is a plethora of baddies within MHA as a whole, and if you, again, saying you don't want any of this or you can't see how anybody is fine, you are actually losing the whole ass plot. So overall, 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10, and the amount of content that has came out of this show is easily some of the best stuff that has existed after, you know, Naruto's whole reigning championship of just having a whole bunch of Gensai content. So easily, I don't understand how people can sit here and be like, oh no, MHA ain't it when it comes down to its waifu characters, because yes, it absolutely is, at least in terms of designs and how certain things kind of play out for them, right? So ultimately for me, it's like one of the best ones. If anything, I don't know, it could very much be top 5 for me, if I'm gonna be honest. Probably like maybe number 4, or maybe kicking somebody out of that top 3. I don't know, I have to really think about it and see. But that's really all I gotta say for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's been Boy J, signing off. Have a blessed day.